Good evening, students. Good evening, dear students. Today we are going to discuss one of the lesson, one of the beautiful poem that has a very informative, that is very educative in nature for your future year. Not only it is going to help you to cover your faster English syllabus, but also it's going to give you one of the lesson which can have a greater impact to building your career and character ahead. So, the poem title is today Inkscape Rock. What is the poem title today? Inkscape Rock. From the topic, from the poem title, what you guess? Inkscape Rock. Do you guess something? No. As a newcomer, you may not guess what is the meaning of it. But the thing is, through this poem Inkscape Rock, we are going to learn the story of basically two characteristics. The two characters represents entire world. Some good people, some bad people dominate this world. Yes or no? And in this poem Inkscape Rock, we will have two characters. Mainly Sir Ralph. Who is the first character? Sir Ralph, who is a very notorious, very wicked, very ill-minded character. And at the same time, we will discuss another character like the Abbot, Sir Ralph and the Abbot. In one hand, you will find the Abbot is doing things for the In one hand, Abbot is doing various things for the welfare of the nation, for the well-being of the people of his area. But on the other hand, in that locality, another character is Sir Ralph. He is doing lot of mischiefs, lot of problems and difficulties for the common people of that area. Hence, come to the poem now. It is in a first year syllabus. This is a piece of poem. So, all the online mode students are also, I request you to focus here. It is a very interesting poem. Now, let us read the text and understand. Before going through the text, first learn the basic background of the poem. What is the basic background of the poem? In the background, you find the poem set in Scotland. The poem set in Scotland. In Scotland shore. In Scotland sea, nearby the shore, from nearby the shore, there is a piece of rock in the middle of the sea. There is a piece of rock. The name of the rock is Inkscape Rock. You got the topic title. Then what is about it? Why the poem title is Inkscape Rock? The Inkscape Rock is sometimes called dangerous piece of rock. You know, when a rock becomes dangerous, if you have experienced the movie Titanic, you must have seen how the Titanic went and collided, crashed with the iceberg. Yes or no? So, like that, whenever high tide comes in the sea, in Scotland sea, whenever sea is disturbed, sea is rough, if any cyclone or anything floods like situation happens, and whenever the entire mountain covered by the water body, then the mountain, the Inkscape Rock, become a dangerous piece of rock. And then the sea mariners who passes by the way, they could not find out, they could not locate the exact location of Inkscape Rock, and they get crash with their boat crash, and they lost their lives and livelihood. Yes or no? So, this is the background. In the background, we understood that Inkscape Rock is a piece of poem where we understand that this is the story of Scotland Sea. In Scotland Sea, there is a piece of rock called Inchcape. The name of the rock is Inchcape. The Inchcape rock is as usual, it is normal, it does not harm anybody in the low tide. But whenever high tide arises in the sea, it becomes a death trap. It becomes a death trap and it kills number of people and their livelihoods. To overcome these difficulties, the common people reach Abbot of Aberbrothock. In the nearby Scotland, there is a place. In Scotland, there is a place named Aberbrothock. In Aberbrothock, there is a good noble human being called Abbot. And Abbot is a very idealistic in nature. He is a man of lot of plans. So he planned. What he planned? He planned to set a bell over the Inchcape rock area, so that at the time of high tide, the bell can ring and can warn the sea mariners, and the sea mariners can easily change their way. You got it, students? So this continued for a while. This continued for 1 or 2 years. People settled themselves. People praised Abbot of Aberbrothock. People appreciated the good work of Abbot. They became very joyous. They bless him. The older, the senior people, when they passes through the Inchcape rock in the time of high tide, they bless Abbot. They remember Abbot's good work. What is the good work of Abbot? He plays the bell and he avoids damage, the crash, the collision between ship and the rock. Yes or no? So in that time, another character arises. Who is the another character? Sir Ralph. And I told you that Sir Ralph is very mischievous. He is very dangerous character. He doesn't think people should live happily. He doesn't have the mindset that we are here social animal, we are here social being, we have to live connectedly, we have to live a happy life. No, he don't think that all the people should live happily. He don't think we should live happily, but he think that I should trouble unnecessary common people. So what he does, we are going to learn. I told you the background. Dear students, dear offline students, I hope that you are getting my points, and dear online students, I am trying to remind you again. The thing is, in the Inchcape rock poem, we are discussing the works of two characters. One is Abbot, another is Sir Ralph. I told you what have done by Abbot. What has been done by Abbot? Abbot formed that, placed that bell and saved many lives. The people saved themselves. They got the message from the bell and they avoid the path of danger. But on the other hand, what Sir Ralph causes difficulties for the common people, we are going to learn. So now come to the text. Two characters. The setting of the poem is Scotland Sea. In Scotland Sea, there is a mountain, there is a piece of rock. It sometimes becomes danger. It becomes a notorious piece of rock that mentioned in the text. It becomes sometimes notorious whenever high tide comes and it covers in the sea, in the water body. Yes or no? Whenever high tide comes, it covers. Common people comes and they crash with the Inchcape rock and they dies. To avoid these mistakes, Abbot of Aberbrothock placed that bell and saved them. But what happened next? We are going to learn. Confirm all of you. I hope you all got the background of the poem written by Robert Southey. Who is the poet? Robert Southey. Robert Southey, one of the very educative poem students in the history of English literature. If you go through, he has a lot of poems, like I can remember exactly what are the number of works, but basically in this work, he tells you, please have no talk. He tells you one thing in this poem. What is that? As you do, you get. Write down. The offline students, please write down the message of the poem. The message of the poem. The message of the poem is, The message of the poem is, as you do, you get. As you do, you get. Another meaning, as you sow, please write down, as you sow, S-O-W, as you sow, comma, as you sow, put a comma, so shall you reap, so, S-O, so. As you sow, S-O-W, so, then comma, so shall you reap, S-O, so, shall you reap. What is the spelling for reap? R-E-A-P, reap. It means, what you dodge today, you have to taste the fruit, the result of it tomorrow. If in the class today, if you are talking together with your friend, then in the next day, at the moment of examination, you may not perform well. Try to understand, dear offline students. Please focus here and go through the test. So, this is the message. Who is the poet? Put the name of the poet, Robert Southey, R-O-B-E-R-T. The name of the poet, Robert Southey, S-O-U-T-H-E-Y, Robert Southey. Sometimes people pronounce Robert Southey, S-O-U-T-H-E-Y. You can pronounce both, Southey, Southey. What are the two characters? Write down two characters, two main characters. Abbot, A-B-B-O-T, Abbot. Here Abbot is mentioned, A-B-B-O-T, Abbot. The first character is Abbot. Put the hyphen and then write down after hyphen, write down. He is a good human being. He is a good human being. He is a good human being who does lot of things. He is a good human being who does lot of things for a peaceful existence, for a peaceful existence of human life, for a peaceful existence of human life. I hope all the online mode students were focusing here and you are putting down the notes. Write down the another character, Sir Ralph, existence of human life, peaceful existence of human life. Then put the name of Sir Ralph, write down Sir Ralph, S-I-R, Sir Ralph, R-A-L-P-H, R-A-L-P-H, Sir Ralph. Then put hyphen, mention, he is a very wicked person, he is a very wicked, W-I-C-K-E-D, he is a very wicked person. Who tries to cause lot of difficulties, on the path of common people, who tries to cause lot of difficulties on the path of common people. He always tries to trouble common people unnecessarily. So, now come to the text. In the beginning of the poem, we find there is a ship. See, all of you, listen here. In the beginning of the poem, we starts in the Scotland Sea. I told you about the Scotland Sea. In the Scotland Sea, there is a ship stands, and the description of the poem begins from that. No star in the air, no star in the sea. What, students? No star in the air, no star in the sea. Star means movement, drifting, all these things. There is no star in the air. No star in the air means, students, there is no difficulties in the sky. Wind is peacefully blowing. Yes or no? And no star in the sea. No star in the sea means, students, there is no heavy tides heavy waves in the bottom part of the sea also. So, there is no disturbances in the sky, there is no heavy flow of wind, there is no heavy waves in the sea. So, it shows, it proves that the sea is calm, the weather is all okay. Yes or no? So, the poem starts, no stir in the air, no stir in the sea, the ship was still as she could be. The ship, there is a ship standing in the sea and it still means students calm, steady. There is no movement in the ship. Yes or no? The ship was still as she could be. The ship is standing quietly. There is no movement, there is no disturbances in the sea or in the air. Yes or no? Her sails from heaven receive no motion. Her sail means ship's sail. Ship's sails from heaven. Sails means students here the tent portion of the ship. You know, you must have visualized that some ship have a tent portion in the ship. The tent used to catch wind and propels the ship ahead. Yes or no? So, her sail from heaven receive no motion. From heaven, from sky, there is no wind catching by the ship. Hence, there is no disturbances in the ship. Her keel was steady in the ocean. Her keel means bottom part, the lower part of the ship. Her keel was steady in the ocean, means which part is touched with ocean. Ocean water also is not being disturbed, because in the past line we understood no stir in the sea, no disturbances in the sea. In the waves, there is no disturbance. The tide is very calm and level. Yes or no? So, in the past stanza of the poem, we got that. What we got, students, in the past stanza of the poem? There is a description of ship standing in Scotland sea calmly and quietly, because there is no disturbances in the weather or there is no disturbances in the water body. Yes or no? Yes, comment. You got, all of you got the past stanza, students. I hope all the online mode students are also getting my points. We are discussing the poem Inkscape Rock, and Inkscape Rock sometimes becomes danger and sometimes it becomes friendly. And when it becomes friendly and danger, we are now going to discuss. We got the past stanza, we got the description of sea, we got the description of sea and the description of sky. There is no wind, heavy wind flow, there is no disturbances in the waves, and there is a ship standing calm and quietly. Confirm, all of you? Come to the next stanza. Without either sign or sound of their shock. What, students? Without either sign or sound of their shock. Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inkscape Rock. The waves comes and that touch the feet of the rock and then it proceeded. Yes or no? It comes and goes. Without either sign or sound of the shock, means there is no sound. There is no sound of any surprise happen in the sea. If you have spent time in the seashore, sometimes you see that if nobody is there in the shore and you are alone, then you will find calmness. Yes or no? The water comes, it touches your feet and it then goes down. Yes or no? So that exactly happening in the area of Inkscape Rock. What happening? In the Inkscape Rock area, the water body, the smaller waves, the little waves comes. The little waves comes, it touches the feet of the rock, Inkscape Rock, and then goes down. Confirm? Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inkscape Rock. The waves comes, it touches the feet of the rock, and then it flowed over the Inkscape Rock. Means it comes, it touches the Inkscape Rock, and then it goes down. So little they rose, so little they fell. What we are going to discuss next? The waves are rising so little and falling so little. Means it is not a dangerous waves, it is not a heavy waves, it is not a swelling of water. So little they rose, so little they fell, they did not move the Inkscape bell. The little waves cannot touch the bell. I told you in the very beginning that Abbott placed a bell. Abbott placed a bell in Inkscape rock area. To why? Why Abbott has placed that bell? Only to warn in the time of high tide, during the high tide. In high tide, if the entire rock will be covered in water body, the bell will ring, the bell will constantly drift. Yes or no? The bell will constantly drift and it will warn the sea mariners. I hope you are getting my points. In the last part of the poem, I will explain it again in Odia. So, if you are facing any difficulties to understand the basic summary of the poem, you must wait patiently. It is your English class and I hope you are supporting, you are cooperating your English teacher to move forward and you are not disturbing yourself anymore. So, in the second stanza of the poem, we got that. In the second stanza of the poem, we understood that there is no sign, there is no symbol, there is no idea, there is nothing happening of surprise that anybody will be surprised in the sea. The ship is standing calm and quietly, the water body comes and touches the feet of the rock and it goes down. They are flowing so little and they are rising so little and they are falling down also so little, means the little waves is coming and going. They did not touch the Inkscape bell, they did not move the Inkscape bell. Confirm all of you, the water, the waves cannot move the Inkscape bell because the Inkscape bell is at the top of the mountain and the water is coming and touching the feet of the mountain. Try to understand. Come to the third stanza. The worthy abbot of Aber Bothak. The worthy means valuable, students, valuable character. The valuable abbot of Aber Bothak had placed that bell on the Inkscape rock. So, who placed that bell? The abbot of Aber Bothak. I told you abbot is a very good human being. He is like a priest, like a father in the church who always commits good work for the well-being of the nation, for the peaceful existence of humanity. Try to understand. So, the worthy abbot of Aber Bothak had placed that bell on the Inkscape rock. Who placed that bell? Abbot. Where? Over the top of the Inkscape. On a buoy in the storm it floated and swung. On a buoy. Students, buoy means a floating object. What, students? Buoy means a floating object. So, in a floating object he fixed that bell. Try to understand. Like in Kartika Purnima, we in the occasion of what? Maritime festival. Yes or no? Maritime festival. We sell a paper boat or etc. Yes or no? So, here he plays, see, like a floating object. He says like a paper boat we floats, yes or no? He places a floating things, any floating object, anything that can floats, that may not sink in the water body. He made that and in that he fixed a bell. He fixed a bell. On a buoy, here buoy means a floating object in which the bell is fixed. On a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung. Whenever high tide comes and the water body covers in the sea, when the sea covers the entire mountain, then the floating object drifts and the bell starts ringing. On a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung, and over the waves, it warning wrong. Over the waves, over the high tide, it messages warning wrong. It messages wrong. Don't come here. Don't come here. This is the place of Inkscape rock. Under the surface of this water, rock is hiddenly here. So, don't come here. It warns, it symbolizes, it messages to the sea mariners of nearby sea. And over the waves, it warning wrong. So, you got the third stanza. In the third stanza, we discussed that the bell is placed by abbot of Aber Bothak. Whenever high tide comes, in a buoy it is fixed, in a floating object it is fixed, and whenever high tide comes, the floating object drifts and it wants the, it sounds the bell sound and it wants wrong for the sea mariners, and sea mariner easily could understand that it is the place of Inkscape rock. We must avoid the path. When the rock was hid by the source soil, what students? When the rock was hid by the source soil, the mariners heard the bell. Here the students, source soil means, hid means hide past tense. So whenever the rock, whenever the Inkscape mountain cover in the source soil means write down high tide. Source soil means what students? High tide. So whenever the rock is covered in the high tide of the sea, the mariner heard the only warning bell. The mariner at that moment cannot locate the Inkscape rock. They cannot see the Inkscape rock, but they only can hear what? The bell sound. And then they knew the perilous rock. Student, perilous rock means destructive piece of rock. You can write down perilous rock. Perilous rock means destructive piece of rock. So whenever high tide comes, the bell sounds and the sea mariners, the sea people who wants to get business in the sea, who wants to do lot of business in the middle of the sea, they easily recognize the perilous rock. Perilous rock means what students? The dangerous, the destructive piece of rock. Why it is dangerous? Who can say the answer? Who can say the answer? Why the Inkscape rock is dangerous? Speak in English, offline mode students. Those are mostly talking here like a talkative bird. They must try to answer this question. Why the Inkscape rock is called dangerous or perilous rock? Because why? Because in the high tide it caused damage to the people. It causes death and destruction to both life and livelihoods. Whatever they earn in the sea, there all the livelihood destroys. Their life is in danger during the high tide. And because of the bell sound, they save themselves. Yes or no? So they knew the perilous rock, means the sea mariner easily understood the place of Inkscape rock and they avoid the path because of the only bell sound. And blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. Student, blessed is the past, is the oldest English, the old time English, it means bless. They bless the abbot of Aberbrothock, then they bless. Bless means praise, appreciate. Then they appreciate. Who appreciate? Who have saved, who have overcome the difficulties of Inkscape rock. Yes or no? They bless the abbot of Aberbrothock. They always wish, oh God, please bless him. Because of him, we saved ourselves. Yes or no? You got the line? You got the stanza, all of you? So see, students, here the first unit covers. In your text, in your book, here the first unit covers. So now I am going to explain it in details in Odia again, because some of the students may find some of the difficulties to understand. So try to come into the substitution of the language, because you know that our government, Mohan Sarkar is saying that sometimes you have to say in your mother tongue if students are facing difficulties. So now come to Odia language and discuss the topic again. Please have no talk. We are discussing in detail in both the language, in our mother tongue and in foreign language, so that you can master this topic. Please cooperate, dear students, both online and offline mode students. So पिले आमे कौन डिस्कस करछे Inkscape rock पढुछे जोटा कि लिखिथिले रॉबर्ट साउदी, और से रॉबर्ट साउदी कौन करछंती ए पोएम रे गोटे मोरल कहउछंती जेमती कर्म करिवो सेमती फल पाइबो। आज यू सो सोशल यू रिप। आ एथिरे दुईटा कैरेक्टर आमे पाउछे, गोटे होची अबोट जे गोटे गोटे सुंदर मनीष जे मनीष मानक सेवारे दिन राति लागि तांती। आ गोटे कैरेक्टर पाउछे आमे साराल जे कि मनीष मानक दुख दबारे ही खुशी पांती। ही गेट्स प्लेजर बाय कॉजिंग पेन टू अदर्स। से भाया दुई जन विषय आम पढ़ुचे एंड इट मेसेज यू द पोएम मेसेजेस यू व्हाट दैट हाउ यू विल बिकम इन फ्यूचर लाइक अबोट और लाइक सार राल्फ को बड़ी हम तुम्हें डिस्कस कर पे अबोट हम ना सार राल्फ हम सो पिले से पोएम रो आरंभ रे आमे पढ़िले नो स्टार इन द एयर नो स्टार इन द एयर नो स्टार इन द सी किछि हलचल नाही आकाश रे किछि पवन होउनी समुद्र रे भी किछि जोरे तरंग होउनी शिप गोटे जहाज पिले स्थिर भाव में स्टिल माने शांत भाव में छिड़ा आज इट कुड बी जमती छिड़ावा कथा अब सी कहीं मेंशन होइछि बिकॉज शिप इज कंसीडर टू बी वोमेन स्पिरिट वोमेनहुड बिकॉज लाइक ए मदर जमती गोटे माँ पिले कौन करे ता परिवार को समस्त को लेकिन एका संगे चलता है सेमती शिप तुम देखि पिले जो जाऊँगी से गोटे माँ परी आमको पानी भितर नहीं चलती बुझ फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट इज कंसीडर एज सी वोमेनहुड स्पिरिट इज देयर इन द शिप सो शिप शांत भाव में छिड़ा हर सेल फ्रॉम हेवन रिसीव नो मोशन तार सेल माने जो टेंट बंधा होता है जो पाल टणा डंगा से कौन से किसी मोशन कैच करूनी से पवन बेग पाऊनी कहीं ना आकाश तो किसी पवन ना आउ कौन तार किल किल माने बटम पार्ट जो तल भाग कार शिप्र सी भी किसी हलचल होनी कहीं ना तरंग किसी जोरे ना वेव्स किसी स्ट्रंग ना बुझिपार समस्ते सेकेंड स्टांजार आम पढ़िले किसी साइन और सरप्राइज ना किसी शॉक ना ऑनलाइन मोड स्टूडेंट्स आशा कर तुम बुझुच तुम बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई एम टीचिंग विथ बोथ द टू लैंग्वेजेस है तुम तुम ठीक से बुझीपार आटा ठीक आम ओडिशा रे पढ़ुचे माने आम दुईटा लैंग्वेज निहाती पढ़ा कथा है विदाउट आइदर साइन और साउंड ऑफ देयर शॉक किसी साउंड ना किसी शॉक ना सरप्राइज किसी होनी शांत भाव समुद्र रे सब किसी चलती वेव्स फ्लोड ओवर द इंचकेप रॉक वेव गुड़ा आउची आउ वेव रे पिले इंचकेप रॉक रे बाडे होची आ पळौची सो लिटिल दे रोज सो लिटिल दे फेल इट मीन्स से जेमती वेव्स गुड़ा आसी सेमती बाडे ही पुणी फेरी जाउची दे डिड नॉट मूव द इंचकेप बेल यार मीनिंग होची पिले से माने इंचकेप बेल को टिके भी गुंचेई पनान काई इंचकेप बेल तो ऊपर अछि एटा तो ऊपर फिक्स होईची गोटे फ्लोटिंग ऑब्जेक्ट रे गोटे भासमान पदार्थ रे द वर्दी अबाउट ऑफ आबरबतक वर्दी मीन्स कौन कही पिले कि समय पूर्व वैल्युएबल वेरी वर्थफुल कैरेक्टर के अबाउट ऑफ आबरबतक से कौन पिले ही प्लेस दैट बेल से जो बेलटा खंजी किए खंचती अबाउट कौन पाई ओनली टू सेव ह्यूमन बीइंग साधारण लोक जीवन केमती बंची पार से बेल खंजा ऑन ए बॉय इन द स्टॉर्म इट फ्लोटेड एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग से जो बॉय रे खंजी जो भासमान पदार्थ रे से बेलटा खंजी एटा कौन होता पे फ्लोटेड एंड सॉन्ग से फ्लोटिंग करता स्विंग करता हियर एंड देयर केतबेले जो हाई टाइड आसी पहाड़टा बुड़ी जाऊला ना बुझीपार भाव गोटे डंगाटा रही पहाड़ उपर पहाड़ फुल हो गला पानी डंगाटा भासबनी से एरिया से भाया गोटे जिनस ऑन ए बॉय इन द स्टॉर्म इट फ्लोटेड एंड सॉन्ग एंड ओवर द वेव्स इट वार्निंग रॉन्ग व्हाट इज द राइमिंग पैटर्न आई गॉट फॉरगेट टू अंडरस्टैंड टू टीच यू व्हाट द राइमिंग पैटर्न सो व्हाट इज द राइमिंग पैटर्न हु कैन डिसाइड क A B B is the rhyming pattern. So and over the waves it warning wrong. तले waves ऊपर रही कि से बेल कौन करतला वार्निंग करतला के एटिके आसनी के एटिके आसनी एटी डेंजर अछि आरी तळे ही इंचकेप रॉक अछि बुझि पाइलो समस्ते अच्छा ताले कौन होतला जो माने सी मैरिनर समुद्र रो यात्री से माने निज रास्ता बदलई दउतले यार हे सेठी डेंजर अछि एई पटरे पळेबा ना बुझि पान when the rock was hid by the surge swell means what students हाई टाइड जो हाई टाइड रे पहाड़टा पूरा हिड माने हाइड रो पास्ट टेंस पिले जो कवर हो जाउतला द मैरिनर हर्ड द वार्निंग बेल मैरिनर केवल दूर पहाड़ देखि पानुतला कौन देखुतला बेल लो साउंडटा खाली सुनी पारुतला एंड देन दे न्यू द पेरिलस रॉक तापर से माने इजीली जानि जाउतले एटा ही सेही पेरिलस रॉक पेरिलस मींस व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स डिस्ट्रक्टिव पीस ऑफ रॉक एटा ही सेही ध्वंसात्मक पत्थर खंड तापर से माने रास्ता बदलई कि जोरे प्रशंसा करते ब्लेस द अबाउट ऑफ आबरबतक ब्लेस मीन्स प्रेज एप्रिशिएट माने जोरे प्रशंसा करते कहार अबाउट ऑफ आबरबतक ए पर्यंत आम पढ़िले पिले इन द वेरी नेक्स्ट क्लास विल डिस्कस सेकेंड पार्ट एंड थर्ड पार्ट ऑफ द टेक्स्ट इट इज योर होमवर्क यू गो होम यू गो थ्रू द टेक्स्ट इन डिटेल बिकॉज सम ऑफ द वर्ड्स आर डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड एट द सेम टाइम the summary the question answer all of you must solve है सब गुड़ा पढ़ो प्रैक्टिस कर आसो तापर आम आउ दुटा को पढ़ा है एतिक आम पढ़ा आज पिले इन द नेक्स्ट पार्ट we will discuss the second and third part. What happens to both? अच्छा एट आम बुझीगले अबोट को कौन मिलला अबोट गेट द रिवार्ड ऑफ हिज गुड वर्क गुड डीड ता भल कर्म से प्रशंसा पाइला सार राल्फ कौन ए आसीनी क्यारेक्टर आम देखा सार राल्फ क्यारेक्टर है सो दिस इज एनफ फॉर टुडे आई होप विल गो होम एंड you will busy yourself in learning new things. So God bless you. I wish you have a good evening and ahead of good night. Royal Pileko. God bless you.